Hey there, boys and girls, with a new Mission Impossible movie not too far around the corner. I started to kind of rewatch the original, starting with the first one. Of course, I've seen them all, but wanted to start over. I haven't seen the first one in at least 10 years, and I haven't seen the second one in even longer. So I wanted to watch through and kind of give you guys an idea of my take, and maybe I can even give you some information so you don't have to go rewatch all the originals. And that being said, like, there's going to be spoilers, right? These movies are too old. They're older than a lot of you watching this, so you can't complain about spoilers. All right. So, first things first, the first film, it kind of is the formula of the more recent films. I would say specifically the fourth and the fifth Mission Impossible, like their formula kind of seems to trace back, I would argue, to the very first Mission Impossible film. The first one kind of has a tone and like a formula about it. You know, it just kind of, it has like everything kind of takes place in a certain order, and it seems like the fourth one and even the fifth one kind of do that same thing. Now the second and third one and the sixth one are all a little bit different, and I'll probably get around to watching some more of these films and do more videos on them. But ultimately, the first one, it's like the beginning of the formula, and this is important to note because the first one is actually difficult to follow. It's actually like a little hard to follow. You have to like really pay attention. A lot of the facts and a lot of like the quips and stuff hit you real quick and are gone, and you blink and you miss it. You can't put the first Mission Impossible on in the background without like missing everything important. And you really cannot appreciate the action too much because it's all like tied to something very specific. You can't just like pick up the movie and like care about what you're seeing. But if you can pay attention and you don't miss any of those little quips, it actually is pretty good. The first Mission Impossible is pretty good. You just have to be on top of your game and you can't miss anything. You can't let yourself miss anything. I actually like it, and you can actually go back now and watch it after the fourth and fifth one, and you can see the similarities in those two films. The first one, of course, you know, it was like a pretty decent success and things like that. But you know, it wasn't perceived as like a great movie. Now, looking back, I think I have a little bit more appreciation for it now. Now that you can see kind of hints around that kind of apply to some of the future movies. I like the first one, and I do recommend watching it if you haven't seen it, and if you want to be kept up with the series. The first one is going to have some, at least, people that are applicable for the newest Mission Impossible, which is going to be released around the corner. The first one is going to have some of those people. So you may want to watch the first one, but I don't necessarily recommend buying it or anything like that. Borrow it or rent it or look for it on streaming. But so I do like this first one. Now moving on to the second one, and we're just going to cover the first two here. The second one, I when I saw it originally, I hated it. I did not see it in theaters. I'm pretty sure I rented it or something along those lines, and I hated it. I thought it was like the worst movie. Watching it today, it's so much better than I remembered. Not great. I mean, it's not spectacular. I actually put it on par with the first one. Like, if the first one, it's good if you can pay close attention, and if you can't, it's not. It doesn't seem very good. It's very difficult to kind of follow perfectly. The second one is not that way, but it has its own little faults and things like that. Some of the action is a little cartoonish. Some of the things are unnecessary and whatever, and the second one kind of is it's like a unique entry to the whole franchise. Of course, at the time, they no doubt didn't realize they were going to get 7 films out of that and counting. But ultimately, the second one is much more entertaining than I remembered. And again, maybe that's because we've had so many now, and you can look back and see some similarities in some of the future films that actually worked well, and maybe in this film it seemed like they fell flat, and now because, you know, you're adapted to some of those moves that they make, maybe it doesn't seem as bad. But I do like it, and I like the villain, the guy he was supposed to play Wolverine, and I think this film actually stole him from playing Wolverine. I think it ran late or something like that, and that villain guy was supposed to play Wolverine, which is crazy. But he did a really good job in this. He just was a little cartoonish, much like in Transporter 2, which is ironically, you know, a different guy, but they're both cartoonish, and it was ironically also about viruses and stuff. That being said, this film does kind of speak to us a little bit more today, and that might be another reason why it's easier to accept it today, because it's about a man-made disease, and then the people who are trying to cure it or already have cured it stand to make a lot of money. And wow, that kind of seems almost a little too close to home right about now. How about that? The only difference is their cure works. Anyway, but it's pretty solid. I actually don't hate it, and I kind of liked it, and I'm not against watching it again, provided I don't have to pay for it. I'm not going to go out and buy it or rent it. But if it's on streaming, oh my gosh, I've skipped this movie over so many times on streaming because I remembered it being such crap, but it wasn't as bad now. And it might have just been, sometimes you can watch a movie in just the wrong frame of mind and just not be prepared for it. And it just can't hit you. And critics do that all the time, where they give a movie a lousy review when it's like an undeniably good movie. Critics do that all the time, where they see so many movies and they have to watch so many movies a week that they just hate their life and they hate being alive and they don't want to do this anymore. So they just give a great movie a bad review. Critics do that all the time. And maybe that was me back then, although I didn't watch a lot of movies back then. And frankly, I try to limit the amount of movies I watch today. I don't want to be that person. But anyway, so I like it, and it is kind of weird and cartoony and stuff, but like the action actually is really well done and really well edited and really well thought out. The acting and the action is engaging and it's important. And it's not like a Marvel film where like you feel like you're watching like another fight scene where you know exactly what's going to happen. You actually watch these things and think, I wonder what's going to happen next. Interesting, what a novel concept. So I do like the second one, and I have more appreciation for it today, and it does hold up pretty well. The action sequences and such are actually really good. So, man, if you can watch it for free and get yourself caught up, you should. However, this film, I think the second one is the film that's probably going to apply the least to any films going forward. So to watch the third one and the fourth one and the fifth one and the sixth one and so on, I don't think you're going to need to watch the second one at all. You might just need to watch the first one, get an idea, and then, if you want to watch like the good ones, you probably start at number 4, where they get kind of good again, with all due respect. But we're going to get into that in a future video. So this is where I'll end it. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your views and your support. Smash the like button, click subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you on another video. Thank you guys.